wanted to review is the Trilogy. I haven't been this excited in a while. So the Trilogy, if you're unaware, came out last year and is a 3-shot shotgun. Now, unlike another shotgun blaster that I have, which is the Rough Cut, the Rough Cut is a 2-shot shotgun, which you can both single fire by pulling the trigger halfway and firing it again, or a double stage full pull trigger and it fires 2 at once. But the Trilogy is, however, slightly unique. The Trilogy is the only other Nerf shotgun that uses shells. The other one, if you've been a Nerfer for quite some time, you know that the sling fire existed quite a long time ago. So here we have the instructions. Don't need that. We already know how this stuff works. Now let's take out this important stuff of the blaster, the shells. Now most blasters that have these separate dart compartments, like shells or like the Battle Scout clip, you need those in order to fire because they don't use magazines. Give me a sec. There we go. So here's the shell. This blaster comes with 5 shells, but you can buy more. There's also another smaller version of the blaster called the Shell Strike, which comes with 2 shells. But if I can get my hands on that one, I'll review it too. But for now, we have the bigger one, which I've been waiting for a long time, since I saw it came out last year. I'm not much of a shotgun enthusiast. I just bought this mostly because of the shell. I mean, there are very few Nerf blasters out there that use shells because, well, I mean, if you lose them, you can't fire the blaster anymore, can you? So here we have the darts. Comes with 15 darts. Because there are 3 shells. So here's one of them. But the shells and the stock itself has a place for shells. So now let's overview the blaster. Starting up with the front. Hold on. So starting off with the front, here we have the ginormous barrel. You can't put a barrel attachment or an extension because most of them are single darts. So this one fires 2 darts at once. Look at this giant tube hole. So like any other shotgun, it's not meant for accuracy. It's more for damage. So next we have the tactical rail. Seems like it's the only rail on the entire blaster. At the bottom here we have the priming handle, which also opens up this top hatch where you drop in your shell, which you don't need to put. You just make sure it's in this kind of triangular shape. Just drop it in there, and now its feet. And then if you want to take out, if you want to reload, you want to put in a new shell, you just fire it back and it drops the shell out for you like an actual shotgun. And that is cool. Then you just put in a new shell inside. But the problem is, just because it's a toy blaster, if you lose the shell, you cannot fire this blaster anymore. That's the downside of having this. But other than that, it is a cool concept of a blaster. On the other side, we have an unjamming button, even though it's a shotgun, but you know, I don't know how you could jam this thing. Maybe this thing won't. I mean, most Nerf shotguns usually have a problem with the priming handle. It always gets stuck when you try to do slam fire or something. But yeah. And then here we have the grip. It is quite small, smaller than I expected. Actually, this entire blaster is smaller than I expected. I thought it would be a lot bigger. Like, yeah, slightly. But then, of course, you can see the hyperfire doesn't look that small or that big at all. So this is the right size for someone my age. And then you have the trigger, of course, and then you have the stock which keeps the 5 shells. But about the stock though, it's kind of slippery. It kind of reminds me of the Apollo stock, which is kind of slippery when you place it on your shoulder. Sometimes it could slip upwards, so it's not that good, but it's stable enough. I mean, it is a shotgun, and plus it's a Nerf shotgun, so there's no kickback like an actual one. But it's a relatively simple blaster to overview. So now I'll load and I'll fire, and hopefully I won't lose any darts. So we've loaded all 5 shells inside, so it's completely flat like an actual shell. Now let's load one shell in. As you can see, that it's a triple fire shotgun. It has no single fire like a rough cut. Also, when you're running around and using this thing as a Nerf, as your main in a Nerf or a secondary, I would suggest you tilt the blaster every time when you want to reload, or else you have flying shells everywhere. So like this, or I can put it back in there and then continue firing. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this very short video, and I hope this review was good enough for you to make your decision. I would actually recommend you get this. The only purpose I bought this was because it's a shotgun that fires with shells, and I always wanted a Nerf blaster with shells. Unfortunately, they don't sell the sledge fire anymore, so I got my hands on one. So thank you for watching. I will leave the buy link in the description down below. Thank you for watching. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe, and I will see you all in the future.